Mayor, we
Hello,
would like.
everyone.
All right, thank you. All right, so today is May 5th, 2021, and the time is 5:10, and I'm calling to order the City Council special virtual meeting. City Clerk, can I get a roll call?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Council members Daniel Damian,
Here.
Monica Garcia,
Mayor, she could not attend and asked to be excused.
Great, so I'll make a motion to excuse Councilmember Garcia. Can I get a second?
Second.
Great. Any objections? No, thank you. Continue, City Clerk.
thank you. Council member Paul Hernandez,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Alejandra Avila,
Here.
and Mayor Emmanuel Estrada.
Here. Thank you for that. And is there anybody looking to make a comment during public communications?
Yes, we do have one speaker, and I'm going to defer to the Deputy City Clerk.
Thank you, City Clerk, and thank you, Mayor. Our first caller is Tony from Ease, or our only caller. Let me try him now.
Hello.
Hi, is this Tony?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, so you have, I'm calling you from Baldwin Park City Council meeting. You have approximately 3 minutes, okay?
Starting now?
Yeah, whenever you start, the timer will start.
Okay. Starting now. Mayor, City Council, staff, and residents of Baldwin Park, my name is Tony Kim, and I'm the CEO of a company called Stacks. Stacks is a subsidiary of the largest direct-to-consumer cannabis platform in California. And today I'd like to formally request for a community development agreement with the City of Baldwin Park to operate a cannabis distribution license and operations in a location that we've secured in 14030 Live Oak Avenue in the City of Baldwin Park. The project consists of about 40,000 square feet and is a pre-existing to be exclusively to conduct commercial cannabis distribution activity. All exterior facades and landscape is to remain unchanged as the building as standalone as is. We've gone through great lengths to install 247 locally hired on-site security, as well as taking the measures for any odor concerns through filters and scrubbers within the facility. Just to note that all the goods inside this facility will be packaged goods. So very minimal impact altogether. We have done traffic and neighborhood impact studies. We've reached out to 300 feet radius of all our neighbors, letting them know. We held a town hall for anybody to have any questions and concerns. We did not get any. So we are looking to request this process to move forward with the City of Baldwin Park City Council. One last note, we are looking to initially hire approximately 15 staff members, all local hires of Baldwin Park, and at full scale, probably ramping up somewhere close to 50 members. So that's my official request here for the City of Baldwin Park, and I appreciate the time and consideration from the staff. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm on mute. I didn't notice that. City Clerk, is there anybody else looking to speak?
No, no one else.
Great, thank you. So at this moment, I will move to close public communications, and we can go on to our open session, study session. I believe we have a presentation by our Chief Deputy City Clerk.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council. I'm going to play a video that we created for the commissions. We currently have 2 vacancies in the planning and 1 vacancy in the recreation. So we're going to play a short clip for you.
Would you like to make a difference in your community? Join one of the City of Baldwin Park's commissions. You just need to live in the city to qualify. If you're interested in economic and housing development, join the Planning Commission. This commission consists of 5 members serving a 2-year term and receive a $50 stipend for attending each meeting. The Planning Commission is a decision-making body and also acts in an advisory capacity to the City Council on items like zoning, general plan, and map amendments. The Planning Commission is tasked with approving new businesses. Recently, they approved a Starbucks and KFC on the corner of Baldwin Park Boulevard in Ramona and a Raising Cane's on Francisquito Avenue. They review and approve housing developments. The types of projects that the Planning Commission may also consider include, but are not limited to, conditional use permits, variances, and tentative parcel or tract maps. If you prefer planning recreational activities, join the Recreation Community Services Commission. This commission consists of 8 members, 5 of which serve a 2-year term and 3 serve a 1-year term and receive a $50 stipend for attending each meeting. The Recreation Community Services Commission serves in an advisory capacity to the City Council on all matters pertaining to recreational activities. They make recommendations on playgrounds, parks, stables,
Does Lulu know
rural
that
trails,
she's not
and city
on?
beautification. They also review recreational programs in the city and cooperate with schools located in the city for summer recreation and swimming pool programs.
Shannon, does Lulu know that
Perhaps
she's
helping
not
the city's
on?
workforce sparks your interest. Join the Personnel Commission. The Personnel Commission consists of 5 members serving a period of 2 years and acts in an advisory capacity to the City Council and Human Resources Department in all matters relating to personnel. They receive a $50 stipend for attending each meeting. The Personnel Commission reviews the recruitment and selection process and makes comments and recommendations. They also conduct hearings regarding disciplinary actions as set forth in the city's personnel rules and appeals submitted by classified service employees. The Personnel Commission makes comments and recommendations on safety procedures and on-duty injuries of classified service employees. If you're interested in housing residents, join the Housing Commission. The commission consists of 7 members serving various terms and receive a $50 stipend for attending each meeting. The Housing Commission assists in developing long-range objectives and goals for housing in the community. They recommend changes from time to time in the city's housing assistance plan and undertake studies in areas of concern or as may be assigned by the City Council and/or Housing Authority. The City of Baldwin Park is currently accepting applications to serve in the city's commissions. To qualify, you must be a Baldwin Park resident and meet the age requirements for certain seats. We are currently accepting applications for all commissions until filled. You may apply online using the following link. For more information, please contact Chief Deputy City Clerk Lulu Morales at lmorales@baldwinpark.com or by phone at 626-960-4011, extension 466.
And that concludes the short clip. We do have it on our website. Hopefully this incites residents to apply for these commissions that are very much needed. We'll also advertise on the billboard so that it's playing the digital billboard. And we'll make flyers and also upload that onto the city's website. Are there any questions?
So I guess first question, Lulu, was that you narrating the video?
Was, Mayor.
Wow, that was very good.
You're not gonna look for a career narrating commercials, are you? All right, good. So I guess one of the most important topics I think is maybe looking at when we're gonna start when we're appointing new commissioners, because I know that we are down to 3 in the Planning Commission, and so if one of them isn't able to make it, we don't have quorum. So was there a timeline for that, Lulu?
It's open for anyone to apply, and we have some applications. It's at the City Council's discretion whether you would like to appoint someone at the next meeting, or if you want to provide direction to just have additional applicants apply and hold it off until June.
Okay. So I know, so one of the things I think is we want, as many people as possible to apply, and that way we can have a diverse, application pool, and then in turn a very diverse planning commission. I think it'll be beneficial to all of us to have, a more proportional representation here. So, I mean, considering what you're looking to do to increase the attention the application process gets, do you think 2 weeks is fine, or do you think we're better off waiting until June?
The commissioners that currently serve on boards expires on June. So if the council wishes to wait until June, you could potentially even replace some commissioners. It's at the pleasure of the council. I would wait until probably the second meeting of June.
Okay, so I think I think it'll be, and I think that makes sense. So if we wait till June, then we can put up every seat for the application process, and then if commissioners want to reapply, they're welcome to do so, and that way we just go through it. We just go through every seat that day.
Mhm.
We'll take
Mayor,
that.
Mayor?
Yes. Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. First of all, Lulu, that was a wonderful presentation. Thank you. And yes, please don't get another job narrating. That was very nice. I like the whole video is very informative. If we can also put it on all of our social media, Manny, so people can click on the link. There's a lot of people on social media, so it would get more attention. And I agree, we should run it for the rest of the month of May, so we can get as many applicants as possible for all the commissions. And so when we put it on the agenda, I would like it on the agenda for the first meeting in June, so we can appoint all those commissioners at the same time. Thank you. Thank you, Lulu, for your work. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Great. And then I guess one more question. I know that we had already received some applications, so those people don't have to reapply. They're already in the process, correct?
That's correct, Mayor.
All right, great. Okay. I don't know if you have any more comments or any other questions from staff. If not, I guess we can move on. And I think, yeah, so if you guys can also send the video to council, then we can also help share it, and we can get that going as well. And then, okay, we can move on to Olson Urban Housing, the update on the proposed housing development.
Yes, Mayor, we have Doris Nguyen and John Rixton of Olson Company to give you a presentation. I think Mark or his staff will roll that.
Hello, good evening. Thank you, Mark. Good evening, Mayor Estrada, members of the City Council. Thank you so much tonight for the opportunity to present our project. We also want to thank staff for their very hard work and diligence in helping us with the project. I know you have the ENA extension on the agenda on the consent calendar during the regular meeting. And so this is really an update so that we can tell you what we've been doing as you're considering that item on the consent calendar. The next slide, please. At Olson, we've specialized in infill housing for 30 years, over 30 years. As a company, we have a customer service focus. That's shown in our first place ranking by Alliant, a nationwide survey company of home builders similar to J.D. Powers. And we are #1 in the nation over all public and private builders for customer service and overall home buyer purchase and ownership experience. We believe this ranking is partially due to Olson's Champion program, where we attend the Homeowners Association board meetings quarterly for 10 or more years. We inspect the site to ensure the HOA is maintaining the project, and we stay on top of the HOAs because we tend to sell to first-time home buyers. They may not have lived in an HOA before. And we help them learn to manage the rules and things like parking and leaving their trash cans out. And we find that staying so involved for that long increases the property values. And it also means that we definitely build quality homes that are built to last. And cities and owners appreciate that as a show, as shown by the award. And if you're interested, that photo down below is of our Citrus Walk project in Covina. So it's also along their park, if you're interested in that location for that photo. Next slide, please. I'm sure you're familiar with the location. It's an existing parking lot surrounded by Morgan Park to the west, the businesses to the east and the south, and then residences to the north. Next slide. Here's a closer location, a look at the location. You can see that it's adjacent to the back of house of the commercial properties. You can see the commercial properties again on the east and then also on the south. Next slide, please. Here's what that looks like behind the commercial properties. You can see in the top two photos of the alley along the south, and then also on the right photo, the alley along the east. And the photo down below, that photo was actually taken of the parking lots in pre-COVID times on a weekday. Next slide, please. This shows what we're proposing to build. We're looking at proposing 24 new townhomes. They would range in 1,300 to 1,600 square feet, 2 to 3 bedrooms with 2.5 to 3.5 bathrooms. Each home will have their own 2-car attached garage on the bottom floor, and they will have their own private balcony. We're also looking to more than double the size of the existing alley along the east and the south property lines, and we'll also improve that alley, not only more than doubling the size, but also adding landscape, a sidewalk. There's currently no sidewalk there, and providing 16 parking spaces. Next slide, please. Since the Esther Snyder Community Center is a beautiful Spanish-style building on the west side of Morgan Park, we thought we would bring the neighborhood together and mimic aspects of that building so it would feel cohesive and intentional in the downtown core. You can see that that community center has very specific details that give it a very distinctive and traditional feel. It's got arches and hip roofs, it's got exposed truss tails, an S-tile roof, sloping details, and metal railing, just to name a few of the items. Next slide, please. So in addition to those elements that we show on the previous slide, we also added corbels and box bay windows, decorative scroll details in the iron, and steps up to the raised patios. You can see I had trouble, combining everything, showing everything on the graphic. So we also enhanced the arches by giving them a depth in the porches, so they feel like a traditional rolling arcade of arches in the plains. And you can see where it moves in and out, the building moves in and out with the shadows. It's definitely a high quality elevation with many architectural elements. So next slide, please. So now as any project changes the built environment, we made sure to reach out to the neighbors to receive their input. We reached out first when we were initially looking at the project. So after being awarded the property, we had very early discussions to explore the possibility of expanding the project beyond the parking lot, but no one was interested, so that's fine. We continued on with our due diligence, but then of course, COVID hit and in-person meetings paused, as we can see tonight. So we hosted a Zoom meeting in September where 3 people attended. And we talked about the concept of land use change. They asked questions about the type of housing that we're proposing. They asked about parking, site access, traffic, and they actually asked whether we wanted to purchase the commercial properties. And then after that, during February of this year, we met in person with 12 of the adjacent businesses and landowners. So at the request of City Council, of course, and if we wanted to as well, we went and met individually with business owners. And so most of the individuals were generally supportive. In particular, the pawn shop, the Allstate, Lucky Star Burgers, and Senator Hernandez, who owns the building with the Kaiser as the tenant. And they were all very supportive and agreed that it's an underutilized parking lot. They also recognized the benefit of substantial new investment in the area. And they generally agreed that the new homeowners would bring them additional business and thought that the parking lot attracted vagrancy and the homeless. Some even said that the vagrancy has led to crime in the area. So there were concerns expressed about the parking lot, but the businesses, particularly those fronting Ramona Boulevard, they did acknowledge that they have parking in front of their main entrances that would not be impacted as much, just because they know that their customers park there along Ramona, and that's where their front doors are. Two of the businesses on Main Avenue, which is the VMR restaurant and the hair salon, they did express concerns about the loss in parking. So we are working closely with staff and the businesses to alleviate their concerns and identify additional parking that could be provided. That plan currently is a work in progress, and we're working with staff on that plan, and we look forward.
Doris, you're on mute.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you
Can
went
hear
on
me?
mute.
Okay, so in closing, next slide, please. Next slide.
Doris, I think we lost your last 10 seconds or so from the previous slide.
Okay, so I think you guys can hear me, right? My phone hung up, but I think you guys hear me okay. So in closing, the project provides many benefits to the community, such as new home ownership opportunities. It provides much needed new homes. It revitalizes an existing underutilized property. It activates the area, putting eyes on the street and the park to help with the vagrancy issue. And it supports local businesses by creating a walkable neighborhood where people will go and shop in their stores. Next slide. Thank you for allowing us to discuss the project tonight. I, as well as John Rixton, are available for questions. I will actually be redialing back in so I can hear you. So John will be answering some questions while I give me a minute to dial back in.
And while Doris does that, I think the last few seconds of that slide, as she said, we're working very closely with staff to replace as much parking as we possibly can. The lot is very underutilized. There was a parking study done prior to COVID that showed that not counting the big events or festivals, that there are rarely more than 40 to 50 cars in that lot at peak hour or at peak usage, I'm sorry. And so as Doris mentioned, we're working very closely with staff to identify other locations in the immediate area to provide additional parking to address the concerns of a couple of the businesses. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Okay, I'm back.
I don't know if staff or city council has any questions.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yes, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Doran and John. I know the follow-up, the secondary outreach was at the request of council, along with, I think, the expansion of the alleyway. I think Mayor Pro Tem may have mentioned that. So thank you for considering that and taking that into account. The one thing I would ask, again, just for everyone's reminder, and especially myself, what is the price range that you're targeting for these units?
You know, can you guys hear me? Yes, okay. So yeah, they will be in the 500,000s. So, you know, possibly up to 600,000, but definitely we believe they'll start in the 500,000.
Thank you. And, you know, it's a very nice project. I have visited your other locations prior to this to, you know, go see what type of product you guys have created. The one thing I'd ask for staff is to see if there's a way for us to work with you to help subsidize perhaps 2 or 3 of those units that we can make available for local residents at a reduced cost. So instead of the 500,000, maybe the city's able to subsidize the partial payment of that and, you know, make them closer to 200 or 300,000 for some of our local residents. But I'll allow staff to kind of, and Ben to kind of, you know, work through that process out. That would be my hope, that there'd be a small percentage that help us for that particular segment of our population. But I also understand, because I hear it a lot, you know, from the new housing stock at the more, you know, I guess it's funny to say this, but, you know, the current, you know, fair price of a new construction of, 500,000 plus, which is just, continues to go up and up over time here. So thank you again for the presentation. One last thing. In regards to some of the, say, VMR, what was some of their if you could highlight some of their items that they had concerns with?
Really, it was the loss in parking was the big one. They have a business where they do rely on parking. So that was really their biggest concern with that. It was just the loss in parking. But we did do some surveys, and we found that their highest use of parking really was on like a Saturday night or a Sunday night. So we think that we'll be able to work with them and staff to figure out a solution.
No, thank you for bringing that up. Because I've gone there, pre-COVID and so forth. And definitely Fridays, Saturdays, and more importantly, Friday and Saturday nights tend to be their busiest time frames, in which the other businesses that are along Main have pretty much closed up. So that allows for additional parking spots to be opened up on Main Street. So thank you for that. No further questions, sir.
Great. Any more comments, questions?
Yeah, I have a question, Mayor.
Go ahead, Councilmember Davis.
I know, Doris, when we met a few months back and you presented the project to me, I had a couple of concerns and a couple of questions. And I know that you reached out to the business owners in that area, but did you guys ever reach out to the community in general to see what it was that they felt about that?
We did, yeah. We did in September on that Zoom call. So we reached out, we had a wide mailer, and we had that Zoom call, but only 3 people attended, and that's where they talked about.
Did you send it out to how many residents did you send it out to? Only because I remember indicating to you that I wanted to attend whenever you did have that community outreach. I wanted to make sure that I was aware of when you were going to have it because I wanted to attend so that I can, participate along with the residents to see what they feel. But I never got notice that you guys did that. So who in particular did you guys reach out to?
We did within 300 feet of the property. It might have been after. We talked to you, I believe, after we did that Zoom call.
Yeah,
and so what we did after that.
Yeah, I believe the call was back in September. So we haven't reached out to the resident because we had such low input at that point that we've been focusing on the businesses since then. We could always go back out and do another community Zoom type of meeting if you would like us to. It's up to the council. We're happy to do that and let us know. But I think that's why we didn't go back out to the residents in the area following that.
And then my last question is, you guys mentioned you're going to do 24 housing units there, and 100% of those are going to be market rate, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, unless you direct us otherwise, and we've drafted the purchase agreement, which we hope to bring to you in the next 60 to 90 days, to have a provision that allows for those units to be introduced if the council wants to do that. It'll allow for that. So we've introduced some flexibility up to hearing.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you. That's all the questions I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. So if there's no more questions or concerns at this point, I think we can move forward. So thank you, Doris, and thank you, John, for being here.
Thank you very much.
I believe at this point we will move to recess to closed session. So I will see the rest of the council in the next meeting.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.